Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Laurie from Cook Scrap Craft, and this is my 77th process video. Today's video is for the Challenge Yourself design team, and the theme for the month of June is summer dreams. And I'm sure that those of us who are kind of still under stay-at-home orders at this point are really dreaming of a good summer. I don't know about you guys, but scrapbooking has been my reprieve during this whole thing, and yeah, I don't know what I'd be doing if I didn't have scrapbooking as a hobby. So for this one, and there is a link below so that you can participate in the challenge as well. For this one, you obviously have to use photos that include you in them and follow the theme of summer dreams. So I had these photos of my family, and you can't see, you can see my shadow there. This is a two-pager. So on the second page, there's actually a photo of me. But these are photos that my family and I took at the beach last summer. We got my daughter on the sand. Before, she had been afraid of the sand, didn't like walking on it. Now she will walk on the sand, but she's afraid of the water because the ocean is too loud, she says. So maybe we were thinking maybe this year she'd be a little more into the water, but I don't know if we're going to get to go to the beach this summer. We'll have to see. So to go with these photos, I had in my stash this summary page kit. And my mom had actually started working on this one before she passed away. And so a lot of the shapes and whatnot was already cut and ready to go for me. So this one really didn't take that long to put together. I kind of changed things up just a little bit from the way the layout was originally supposed to look, because this was a page kit that kind of just like told you place this here, put this here. I added a few extra things, and I kind of changed the placement of where those little word photos are just because I didn't want them to cover up anybody's face. So I think they were originally supposed to be somewhere along the left side of the photos. I just put them along the right side of the photos. And they say things like sandy, salty, sandy toes, and salty. I can't remember what the other word is going to be on the second page. But here I'm just trying to make sure that brown piece of cardstock lines up so that my second page is even with my first page. And I don't know where my mom got this. I think she went to like a scrapbook convention and they sold these page kits like ready made. That's kind of how she liked to scrap, with just have someone give you directions, cut this sheet of paper this size and put it here, and kind of takes the guesswork out of things. And I don't mind scrapping that way from time to time because it is very easy. All you have to do is add the photos, and then you kind of know what you're doing. But sometimes it is fun just to start from a blank piece of paper and figure out, okay, I've got like these three photos. How am I want to use this pattern paper. I want to use these embellishments. How am I going to make them work? And you can go on Pinterest, use sketches. That's always a great starting point if you really need some inspiration, something to get you going. But the page kits also make it really, really easy. I also like page kits that give you all of the product, but then just let you kind of go to town and do whatever you want, because then you know that you've got stuff that goes together, stuff that is, I don't know, coordinating, and you don't, that kind of takes the guesswork out of, well, do I have the right embellishments? Do I have the right thickers or what have you? So over here, originally this was supposed to have, I guess, 6 photos, and you're supposed to have a white backing and then a pink and then the photo. I just decided to do away with backing the photos with anything. I just thought that was kind of a waste of adhesive. So because I only had 5 photos, I did do the white and the pink to take the place of the 6th photo, and that's where I'm going to add my journaling. So it kind of worked out that there was a little spot there that I could do that. Sometimes I struggle with figuring out where to put a journaling spot, or I don't have the right journaling spot and I got to figure out where I'm going to write something on the page. So this was kind of a ready-made journaling spot right there. I do like the color of that pink. The color of this whole page kit is really nice and kind of summery. I don't recall what manufacturer this was. I think it was Simple Stories, maybe. Anyway. So I'm just going to add that down there, and then there's not a whole lot going on the first page in terms of embellishments. The second page actually gets this great big cut apart, which we'll get to in a second. And there it is. I love that wood grain paper. I think it looks so cool. And then there's that teal of the wood grain. So there's a lot of layering going on in this layout, which is also something that I don't do in terms of like matting your photos. I don't do that too much. I might do like one mat behind a photo, but not three. So this was a little bit different for me. So you got the brown wood grain going down first, then the white, and then the teal, and then there were some cut aparts. The original page kit showed you one cut apart to use, and I guess you could have changed it up. You could have chosen one of the other ones depending on what kind of pictures that you had. So it was nice that there were a couple options. I went with the one that was in the page kit because I liked the sentiment, and it was a ready-made title, which is really nice. I like using cut apart cards as titles, especially when you're not sure if you have the right alphas in your collection, as I so often do not, or I'm like missing an E and I can't make the word that I want. So what I'm cutting out here is that little beach arrow so that it ends up looking more like a beach sign like pointing to the beach. And that was one of the instructions in the page kit. And then the other cut apart that was next to it said, "Life is better in flip flops." And I actually don't think any of us were wearing flip flops in these photos, but that's okay. The sentiment is the same. It's the beach, and it's nice. It was nice to be at the beach. It was nice and breezy by the water. And then that little cut apart, you could have used that as journaling as well. It had lines on it, or you could cut apart the flip flops and use them somewhere. And what I'm gonna do with these is actually after I fussy cut that one with my big scissors. I should have used my small scissors for that. I am going to pop them up with some foam dots. I think the original placement of these was down by where the title is, but I didn't really like that everything was so heavily focused down in that one corner, whereas the rest of the layout looked kind of plain and two-dimensional. So I'm trying to like figure out just placement of things. It's a little bit different from the way it was shown in the page kit instructions. Um, because the way it was shown in the instructions in terms of those signs, they were supposed to be on the left side, not even inside that wood grain mat. And I thought that was just kind of weird because I wasn't using that as my journaling spot. I was using the pink square as my journaling spot. So I didn't really like that it would just be empty. I thought that was kind of weird. So I decided to move those pieces over just a little bit because I could. And yeah, I think it worked out pretty well. I'm still kind of thinking about it though, as you can see here. Um, but yeah, that's kind of again the beauty of working with a sketch or working with a page kit is that you can change things up and put them really wherever you want. If you feel like something's not working for you, you don't have to do everything exactly the way it's supposed to be. This is a creative outlet, so just do whatever you want and put the stuff wherever you want. I kind of feel like there are rules in terms of, I guess, like art, but really, like any completed page is, if you're happy with it, then that's great, and then it doesn't have to look like um, something perfect from a magazine. It just, as long as it looks the way you want it to look, and you've achieved your vision, then that's totally fine. So flip flops are up there on top, and the title is down there at the bottom. Now I'm going to put the journaling stuff in. I use Zig Writer pens, which I really, really like. I have them in a bunch of different colors, and I think they write really, really well. So just kind of filling that in. Again, there are links below to the Challenge Yourself blog so that you guys can check out what the other design team members have done and follow along, link up your own layouts there as well, and then follow along with other people who are linking up and see what kind of work that they've done. So the only other thing that I'm adding to this, something that I was really excited about giving, Nuvo drops. I'd never used them before, and I ordered them as part of a scrapbook.com order, and I was just like, okay, cool, let's see what I can do, because I do a lot of stuff with misting sprays. I love the way that looks. But the Nuvo drops kind of give you that same type of splattery look, but with some cool texture and dimension. And it was really, really easy to use, and I love that peachy color. I can't remember specifically what it's called. And they kind of looked a little dull when it was coming out of the bottle, but once it dries, it's nice and bright. So I definitely want to get more colors of that. That was really fun to work with. So this is going to be about it, just adding a few more extra little dots of that. Here are the close-ups. You can see the dried Nuva drops there. Follow the links below so you follow me on social media, and the Challenge Yourself challenges. We'd love to see what you guys create using the Summer Dreams theme. So we'll see you guys next time. Happy scrapping!